Hello and welcome back to ChartMill. In today's video I'm going to concentrate on setups that are showing a high tide flag pattern. Recently we've had some questions on how to use ChartMill to find those typical high tide flag patterns. It's a pattern that is used regularly by other famous traders, for example like Qullamaggie. If you don't know who he is, it's a rather famous growth trader from Sweden. He has made tens of millions in a couple of years trading growth stocks. So he has three timeless setups, breakouts, the episodic pivot and the parabolic short. But today I'm going to concentrate on his breakouts. So let's go back to my stock screener. So this is a stock screening page. If you open up this drop down menu, all your saved screenings are visible and available. Now, it was a little bit of a mess, I have to admit. I have cleaned it up and right now I have 5 different Qullamaggie screens. So let's start with this one. In the upper right corner you can see the used filters. So stocks above $5 or euro with a minimum average daily volume of 300,000, average daily range percentage above 4. The price has to be in a 2% range of the SMA 10. And performance, 1 month performance has to be bigger than 50%. So it's a rather strict filter. Trend intensity, that is a proprietary indicator to identify strong trends, has to be above 1010 and it's only US stocks. Very strict filter and only one result, but it's a very strong one. Novocure and VCR after earnings, Q1 earnings, which were very good, both earnings and sales, there was a surprise. So earnings up, earnings growth 28%, and for the sales 13%. So it surged up from 12 to 24 in less than 1 month, and now it's forming a high tide flag pattern, clearly visible on the chart. So this one is definitely going to my watch list. Now, as I've already mentioned, it's a very strict filter, so that's why I have different variations of this Qullamaggie screen. So we have the same one, but only 25% up move. And then immediately the results are a little bit bigger, 8 results. So Rush Street RSI, again, a gap up due to earnings. Very impressive earnings and sales growth since Q1 23. Every quarter there was an earnings and sales surprise. It's forming a rather tight range. Next one is SHIP. Again, strong up move. Pullback to the SMA 10 on low volume. Also very nice weekly chart. It's coming out of a stage 1, a very premature stage 2. It depends on where you start the measurements, of course. I've also added the Mansfield Relative Strength. It's from Stan Weinstein's book, Secrets for Profiting in Bull and Bear Markets, if you want to know more about it. Auster, that is some double bottom and reverse, so a shakeout over here, pull back to the SMA 20, and now it's going back up. Also on the weekly chart, it's a premature stage 2 uptrend from this stage 1. EverQuote, now that is a very nice looking stock. It's in a long-term uptrend, as you can see on the weekly chart. Different things can be said over here. It's an ascending base. Those of you who know the book How to Make Money in Stocks from Von William O'Neill, it's a typical ascending base. It's also called an ascending triangle. But you can also see a cup and handle. Wait, I will animate this. So let's make this black. So that's a cup and handle, but it's also an ascending triangle. And it's even, this one, if you read the books of Mark Minervini, it's a VCP pattern, a volatility contraction pattern. A strong move up, volume is down, so the price is tightening up, volume is tightening up. So it's a nice looking setup. So I would add this definitely to my watch list. BCRX, it's in a long-term downtrend. Novocure, already mentioned this one, that is the one that gained more than 100% in 1 month. And then ELVN, also cup and handle, Boyle Pro shares, now definitely not this one. This is an exhaustion move, very strong volume. It opened with a gap up and then it came down. It came down more than almost 5% and next day minus 11%. So let's forget that one. So those were the screens on 1 month, but he also uses different time periods. So I've added also some screens with a time period of 3 months. So let's have a look at Qullamaggie 3 months, 60%. So it's almost the same, only the time period is changed to 3 months and price has gone up more than 60%. Obviously a lot of names will be the same, but sometimes there will be some additional names. So only 5 results. CDE, for example. Powerfleet. It's a nice looking cup and handle pattern. It's also on the weekly chart definitely in a strong uptrend, but I really don't like the earnings and sales numbers. So that is one I'm not going to withhold for my personal portfolio. Don't like the volume either. It's rather low. Now it can go higher, of course. Like I've already mentioned, it's a very beautiful pattern. It's very tight. In fact, let me show you how tight it is. Go to the chart settings and add an overlay, the ChartMill channels. So these lines, the upper and lower line, so resistance and support, these are automatically drawn by ChartMill. And as you can see for PWFL, it's a very tight range. But again, I don't like it because of these numbers. Those ChartMill channels are a very neat screener, a very neat feature to identify very tight ranges. We'll give an example. If you go to the stock screener, so we are in the screen, the Qullamaggie screen, 3 months, 5 results. If I'm now selecting support resistance and I'm asking that the ChartMill channels, the maximum width has to be less than 5%. So I'm getting 0 results. So let's try with less than 8%. And now I have only 1 result. PWFL, as already mentioned, it's rather tight. So that is a very good way to identify strong stocks in a tight range by using the ChartMill channel width. And these channels again are automatically drawn and recognized by ChartMill itself. And then there are some other variations, 3 month 60, I've just showed, 3 month 30% and 3 month 100%. And of course you can change all these filters. If you want to change this to 3 month only 20%, go to the performance tab and here you can change 3 month at least 60%. You can change this, for example, to just 15%. And obviously you will have more setups. So that's it. Those are a handful of screens I'm using on a daily basis. It's my bread and butter to identify setups. I have a whole bunch of other screens to identify good quality setups. If you are interested in that, please leave a comment below this video and then I will make a video of my all the other screens I'm using. And for the Qullamaggie screens, there is an article available on the website and I will post a link. And to make it easy, I will also post the different screens, a direct link in the description below this video. So thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.